Joe Biden held kind of an over-the-top, celebration, this extravaganza that was named the Respect for Marriage Act, a bill that moves to restrict freedom of religion and freedom of speech even, meaning whether you're Catholic or evangelical or maybe Muslim, any serious person of faith, you will not necessarily have the rights tomorrow that you had yesterday. This push by the left, Biden included, is about destroying the primacy of the nuclear family.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and Fox hosts rage after Biden signs gay marriage law.
It's an effort to degrade the country, but as a political matter, it's a distraction.
Now, of course, he did have time, though, today for a big celebration at the White House after signing the Respect for Marriage Act. Why did he choose that over visiting the southern border? Think about that.
This was supposed to be about gay marriage, but here you have Joe Biden, president of the United States, purportedly pushing child sexual mutilation.
This is a tough call. Do you fact check the last words you just heard, or do you point out that the graphic on a show that is called a news show of Joe Biden eating ice cream in front of a blazing fire is just not real? I mean, if you're watching something and they start photoshopping stuff without it telling you why or what it is, you might not be watching the news.
Hosts on Fox News like Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, and Sean Hannity will take any opportunity they can get to create hysteria and fear around the LGBTQ plus community. There was no exception to that with the recent signing of the Respect for Marriage Act.
Hate crimes related to bias against sexual orientation and gender identity have actually surged over 40% in the last few years. And you've seen the examples. They correlate with other problems we have, like the general right-wing hate discourse in America and the accessibility to weapons, including sometimes people with mental health challenges, accessibility to weapons. But Orlando's Pulse nightclub, that was a massacre of 49 people related to this kind of hate.
First off, let's talk about the actual bill, because speculation around laws always exists along partisan lines. But Fox News takes it to another level by deliberately lying about the substance of the legislation. The Respect for Marriage Act repeals a 1996 law known as the Defense of Marriage Act, which banned the recognition of same-sex marriage under federal law. It also protects interracial marriages, as well as requiring states to recognize a marriage if the marriage was performed legally. Basically, it's a recognition of marriage under the law. What it does not do is require religious organizations or communities to perform gay marriages or even recognize them personally. That is religious freedom.
Being LGBTQ in America in 2022 means looking over your shoulder before you hold hands with someone you love. It means wondering if today is the day that hate comes armed with a clenched fist or worse, an AR-15.
I saw my friend lying on the floor, bleeding out, knowing there was little to no chance of surviving that bullet wound. I had to tell him goodbye while I continued to fear for my life, not knowing if the attack was truly over.
Note that several religious groups actually applauded the passage of this act, including the United Church of Christ. So if it indeed was, as Fox so carelessly describes, an act on religious freedom and the nuclear family, then why would any religious group support it? The issue is not, of course, religious freedom, but that people like those at Fox News always frame the expansion of rights as the removal of other rights, which is not the truth. And Fox News is certainly not known for the truth, but consistently leading their viewers into believing that the Biden administration is actively supporting sex criminals. Their intolerance for the LGBTQ plus community is very transparent. They will always try to find a way to draw a connection from that community to an image of lawlessness and deviance. They will also needlessly sexualize them when, again, the legislation in regard to the right of marriage recognition, and that's it. Now, if the base of Fox News wasn't a conservative majority, I got the feeling they would change their so-called reporting, but since the Republican evangelical base is made up primarily of Southern Baptists, well, the bigotry and hatred can carry on. I guess the ability to get married and that be legally recognized is just too much freedom for the Fox viewers and the religious zealots. I guess it's just too much for two people who love each other are allowed to share the life together, especially when you consider how many divorces and sexual misconduct the people over at Fox News get to go through. Here's a really easy solution. Don't believe in same-sex marriage? Then don't get married to someone of the same sex or gender identity as yourself. It's that simple. And as far as those legally protected marriages, you can just pretend that they don't exist, just like you do with all the other problems that actually impact people's lives. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.